Hi everybody, this is Juhi again, and I'm back again, and we're going to start talking about the third part of the pivotal response training. And pivotal response training is something that we started talking about a couple of days ago, and today is the third part of it. So the last time when I talked about pivotal response training, it was we had just started, talking about it, and we had reached to a point where we were just talking about that. What are the components of it? How is the family, involvement important? And then what are the hours and intensity? And we talked about all of that stuff. Now what I wanted to talk about was, and the natural environments are like so important. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was that how are the goals and the implications done in pivotal response treatment, and what is the curriculum that is so important in the pivotal response training. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about was that pivotal response training is something that is done with children so that we are able to move them up their typically developing trajectory, and we are giving them the opportunity so that they are able to have meaningful lives in a naturalistic environment and a naturalistic setting. With that being said, whenever we go and we look around for different, any kind of, different techniques, there are different curriculums that go along with it. But for PRT, there is no specific curriculum. The scope and sequence of PRT, there is no specific curriculum. The only curriculum that is used for PRT is the general education curriculum, but that general education curriculum is actually modified as per the needs of the child. So there is no specialized curriculum, it's all the general education curriculum, and this general education curriculum is modified for the level of the child, so there is no separate curriculum. In PRT, teaching is done of the general education curriculum, and basically motivation, which is one of the core areas, is targeted, and the motivational level of the child is created in such a way that the child is able to work by using the motivational operation or the motivational factor or the core area of motivation to build his or her repertoire of working with the general education setting, but also by us modifying the general education curriculum for them. Now, for instance, allowing preschool aged children to gain access to a preferred game by first dictating the letters on the box, for example, for Mr. Potato Head, and may have benefits for all children learning to identify letters of the alphabet. So something like that. Now, the first thing that we are going to talk about over here is that the book, which is by Kugel and Kugel, which is Pivotal Response Treatment. In this book, they have divided the instruction and the for all the kids as per young children, as per preschoolers, as per I think it's elementary, and then so on and so forth, middle school, and then after middle school, they go towards like the higher grades. So today I'm only going to talk about the younger children, and what they're saying is that the third implication is that many children with autism do not begin receiving intervention at a young age. Likewise, some children who are provided with PRT earlier on may require additional modifications across the scope and sequence of the general education curriculum. Yet the general education curriculum can still be used as a guide for what to teach, while motivational procedures are infused into both the general education curriculum and the principle of practical participation. So basically what they're saying is that many modifications, they are made in the general education curriculum, and a lot of choices are given to the kids so that their motivational levels are built up. And in this, what happens is that so it's a naturalistic environment. A lot of choices are given to the child. The motivational level is built of the child, and that's how we are working with the child so that his motivational level is up. The curriculum is modified for the child, and then that's where we are building the success of the child. Now, social communication is something that develops with little systematic teaching for typically developing children, right? But as for our children, however, the children with autism, they do fail to comprehend, right, the communication efforts of the caregivers. So, as discussed previously, cognitive behavioral research in the area of motivation has indicated that children with autism have a difficulty time learning the response to the reinforcer contingency, right? So, in that's why leading to low levels of responding and phenomena of learned helplessness is something that we have to come over. And how do we come over that? It's not by the response and the reinforcer relationship, it is by building those motivational levels up. So once you build those motivational levels up, that's exactly when the child is going to learn to come over the learned helplessness. Now, how do you work with PRT with very young children? You generally arrange the environment, which is going to involve setting preferred materials that the child is likely to find motivating across the environment and the routines. Until child reaches preschool age, this is how you are going to make their environment. The majority of their time is spent at home. So basically, when their time is going to be spent at home, you want to make sure that their environment is enriched with the things that they want and the things they like and the things they are motivated by. And the families will want to arrange the environment by placing highly preferred stimuli throughout their home. Ordinary involvement of these stimuli in during daily routines will elicit natural language opportunity. So what you need to do is that by placing highly preferred stimuli throughout the home. Now, if you'll have ordinary involvement, then the kids are not going to interact that much with it. Now, basically, you're going to incorporate child's interest, individualized interest in the daily routines, and you're going to teach interactions within the PRT model. Now, how do you start it with young children? The first step is that the child is going to be engaged in the naturalistic environment, such as the home, with whatever activities they are doing. That is, it's going to be arranged in a way to stimulate the interest of the child. Then the caregiver is going to follow the child's lead and allow the child so to become interested in a particular stimuli. Next, the caregiver provides a clear opportunity to respond that is related to the child's interest. And the next is the caregiver immediately provides the preferred item contingent upon the child's attempt. So first step, child goes, he has contact, engagement with an activity item in the naturalistic environment. The therapist is going to follow the child's lead. Now the therapist gives them an opportunity to respond, which is related to the child's interest, and then the caregiver immediately provides the preferred item contingent upon the child's attempt to verbally respond. So basically, this is going to have like examples of access. So rather than allowing a child to gain access to an entire item, a child is provided with a piece or part of the item. For instance, instead of providing a box full of blocks, the child can receive one block at a time, creating manipulation opportunities, multiple opportunities for language. During mealtime, the child can be given small amounts of juice, creating opportunities to continuously request for more juice. Rather than tickling a child continuously, the child can receive tickles for a short period of time to allow for additional opportunities. Now, finally, parents can modify their own behavior when anticipating what will motivate the child, especially during the daily routines. So basically, you just have to make sure that you are creating those opportunities for the children in which the child comes into a naturalistic environment, and then you follow the lead of the child. You give them the opportunity to verbally respond, and then you reinforce them. So it's all child-led, and this is in the earlier age. And so this is how we start with the PRT model. The curriculum is the same curriculum as the general education curriculum, and we are the ones who modify the curriculum for the child. Now, this is for the earlier years, and then maybe tomorrow we are going to talk about the preschool years. So I hope that PRT part 3 is a little bit clear to you guys. Always remember, it's naturalistic environment. It's done more with the family. It's done in the environment of the child. There is no specialized curriculum. It's only general education curriculum that we are going to modify according to the level of the child. Okay, I really hope it's making sense to you. I am loving PRT. I am really getting fond of PRT because this is something in different countries where a lot of resources are not available. I think this is an amazing model to do. All right, guys, have a wonderful day and stay safe.